All right, the last video cut me off. Apparently I have a 10-minute limit on this thing. So anyway, angles that share a common side and the same vertex. So again, this is video 2. All right. So now we're going to look at some adjacent angles. One thing that I want you to pay attention to, you might see something like this where you have all of this information. You have what 2 is, what 3 is, what 4 is, but you're trying to find what 1 is. Know that all of this makes, if I were to draw a circle, pretend that's a beautifully drawn circle, all of those, and write this down, all of these add up to 360 degrees. Okay, you're going to need to know that for your homework. So altogether, that is 360 degrees. So we want to pick out some adjacent angles. So for an example, angle 1 and 2 are adjacent angles. They're next to each other. They share a side and a vertex. And these are also linear pairs. So here's 1 and 2, and we would write that by, this is angle 1 and angle 2. That's the symbol for angle. So angle 1 and 2 are adjacent, but 2 and 4 are also adjacent because they share a side and a vertex. Okay, so I'm just going to do 2 examples. So angle 2 and angle 4. Those are adjacent, okay? So when they're next to each other, they're called adjacent. Think of adjoining hotel rooms, right? They share a door and a side, okay? All right, so now we have opposite angles. So opposite angles formed by 2 intersecting lines are called vertical angles. Okay, vertical angles are congruent, and these are the easiest types of angles that we'll work with. The word congruent means equal. Congruent angles have the same measure, so the same amount of degrees. So name the vertical angles. Well, here we want to go, they're across from each other. Those are vertical angles. So I would say angle 1 and angle 4. And I would write that over here, angle 1 and angle 4. They are equal to each other, okay? But then you could also say that angle 2 and angle 3, since they're opposite from each other, they are congruent. They are equal. Okay? All right. We're going to skip number 8. Let's flip over the paper. And we're going to go to the last one since it's working with equations. So we want to write and solve an equation to find the value of x, then write and solve an equation to find the value of y. So for x, these are opposite each other. They are vertical angles, okay? So we could say, so here I'm going to shade it in, these are equal to each other because they're opposite. So I could say 7x minus 3 equals 25, right? Because they're equal to each other. This side is 7x minus 3, and this side is 25. So I just solve like a regular equation. 7x, I have to add 3, equals 28. Now, since I'm multiplying by 7, I divide by 7, so x equals 4. Now, if I look here, these are opposite each other, so they are equal to each other. So over here, I'm going to solve for y. 12y plus 35 equals 155. Sorry, I ran out of room here. Solve that like a regular equation. Subtract 35. 12y equals 120. And then I'm multiplying by 12, so now I divide by 12. 120 divided by 12 is 10, so y equals 10. Okay, so if they're opposite each other, like here, they are equal. These are equal, okay? And then we would just name what these are. These are adjacent because they're next to each other, but they don't add up to equal anything, okay? All right. So again, rewatch this video as many times as you need. If you need help with this, go see Mrs. Straub in the red hallway during task, and she is more than happy to help you. So work on the rest of these problems in the packet, check your answers with the sub, and then you can start your homework. Have a great day.